Inspiration4 In-Flight Update with the Crew. Hello lovely YouTube family, welcome back to the channel. Before we start, I would want you to hit that red subscribe button so that you never miss out on any of our videos. The crew members conducted a quick tour of the spacecraft and discussed their activities. Are you prepared for the changes? Let's get this party started. The update so far. The Inspiration4 crew is more than 100 miles higher than the International Space Station, at 366 miles above Earth. They're also further away from Earth than most astronauts who have gone to space since NASA's Apollo program ended in the 1970s. The Space Shuttle mission that launched the Hubble Space Telescope in 1990, on the other hand, was in an elliptical orbit that took it up to 386 miles above Earth. In 1999, a mission to repair and enhance the telescope was launched into orbit at 378 miles high. The crew members of Inspiration4 traveled further from Earth than the astronauts on both missions. All of this demonstrates how near humans have remained to their origins since the Apollo program ended. The distance between the Earth and the Moon is around 240,000 kilometers. No one has traveled more than 400 miles from the planet since Apollo 17 returned in 1972, and that will not change until NASA's Artemis program's first crewed mission, which is tentatively scheduled for late 2023. In contrast to NASA missions, little is known about the Inspiration4 crew. The crew members are healthy, happy, and resting comfortably, SpaceX said on Twitter, adding that they had completed the first round of scientific study, eaten a couple of meals, and napped. Let's go right to the new information. Number 1, there were more people in space than ever before. The 4-person crew of SpaceX's Inspiration4 increased the number of people in orbit to 14, breaking the previous record of 13 established in 2009 when the Space Shuttle Endeavour arrived at the International Space Station. The 14 humans in orbit this year, on the other hand, were on 3 different missions. At the moment, there are 7 people aboard the space station. The Shenzhou 12 spacecraft also carried 3 astronauts who were concluding a 90-day stay aboard China's still under construction space station. According to official media, the crew arrived safely on Earth on Friday. Jared Isaacman, a high school dropout who became a millionaire founder of a payments processing company, is the Inspiration4's commander and benefactor. He joins fellow billionaires Richard Branson, the founder of Virgin, and Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon. According to Dr. Elliot Briner, an assistant professor of mechanical engineering at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University in Arizona, billionaires like them and the private enterprises they fund have reduced the cost of spaceflight. According to him, when those expenses decrease, the number of humans in space will increase. The thing that has been barring us from going to space is cost, Dr. Briner said on Wednesday night. With private launches, the number of people who can go to space will continue to increase. It's still a millionaire's game, but at least you don't have to be a superpower country, he said. Number 2, the crew are spending 3 days aboard a capsule slightly bigger than a minivan. The Crew Dragon is a gumdrop-shaped capsule that is an improved version of SpaceX's original Dragon capsule, which has been used to transport goods on numerous occasions. It's nearly the same size as NASA's Apollo spacecraft, which sent people to the Moon in the 1960s and 1970s. Mercury and Gemini, NASA's previous spacecraft, were far smaller. The interior of the capsule is larger than that of a minivan, but smaller than that of a studio apartment. There's also a bathroom. As you might expect, you and a few of your pals might be able to cram into a space like that for a short period of time, but any longer would be uncomfortable. So far, NASA's mission in Crew Dragon has spent no more than about a day orbiting the planet before docking with the space station. Inspiration4's crew will spend 3 days aboard. It's like an extended camping trip, Mr. Szymborski said during Tuesday's news conference. You're in a camper van with some of your closest friends for 3 days. He added the crew members will be able to pull out sleeping bags and strap yourselves in so they don't drift into each other in the middle of the night. Mr. Szymborski stated there will be a few particular issues ensuring privacy here and there. He claimed that NASA astronauts who had previously been to orbit in the capsule had given them helpful advice. When we go back, we'll let you know how successful they were, Mr. Szymborski said. While the quality of spaceflight meals has improved dramatically since the 1960s, dining may not be a highlight of this orbital journey. Ms. Arsenault remarked during a taste test in the Netflix documentary about Inspiration4 that she didn't believe it was good. One of the planned meals is cold pizza, Mr. Szymborski revealed during an episode of an Act Show's podcast that will follow their training for the mission. The cold pizza better be packed because that was my order. Number 3, what to listen to when you're floating in space. These days, you can't go anywhere without a playlist, and the Inspiration4 crew put one together for their voyage to Earth's orbit in partnership with Spotify. Each of the 4 members of the crew contributed 10 songs. Chris Dombrowski's, the flight mission specialist, said that he chose some of the songs he did with the support of his wife, Erin Duncan Dombrowski. He said, "Through a representative, I went with tunes that reminded me of flight and accomplishing what has been a lifelong ambition for me. The thought of striding out in my suit while listening to Big Data's Dangerous or M83 saxophone solo from Midnight City as I gaze out from space from the cupola is already sending me off." If you tune into the playlist on Spotify, you can try to imagine what it's like to hear In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins while flying through a place with almost no air, or that even if you go to space, you can't escape I Got a Feeling by the Black Eyed Peas. This is not the only music that the crew might listen to during their 3 days in orbit. They also have a non-fungible token or NFT of a new song, Time in Disguise by the band Kings of Leon. Mr. Dombrowski has brought a ukulele which he will play during the mission. It and the NFT will be auctioned for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital in Memphis. Furthermore, the mission's pilot, Sean Proctor, has a personal playlist that contains a song by a friend, Chelsea God. Miss God works as a senior writer for the website space.com during the day, but she also performs as Foxanne. Miss God and Dr. Proctor took part in a simulation of a mission studying the surface of Mars last year in Hawaii. Miss God was a resident of a Mars-like environment. Mission control included Dr. Proctor, Miss God added, and she rescued the day for us quite a few times as it was a stormy expedition. Earlier this year, Miss God told Dr. Proctor about a new song, I Could Go On, and Dr. Proctor enthusiastically said she wanted to take that to space on her iPhone. At Kennedy Space Center in Florida, Elon Musk visited family members of the Inspiration4 crew. Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos are 2 of the world's wealthiest individuals. Both have their own rocket firms. Their relationship is also marked by turmoil in public. When an interviewer asked about the competition between SpaceX and Jeff Bezos' space venture Blue Origin, Mr. Musk said, "Jeff who?" which recently carried the Amazon founder to the edge of space. But at least on Twitter, with the debut of Inspiration4, everyone was a little friendlier. Mr. Bezos commended Mr. Musk and SpaceX on the successful launch of a non-professional astronaut crew into orbit, a watershed moment in human spaceflight that would have been unthinkable only a few years ago. Mr. Musk even replied politely. While the two managed a brief parley on Twitter, there is plenty of conflict to come. After NASA gave SpaceX a contract to build its next spacecraft to carry astronauts to the surface of the moon, Blue Origin cried foul over failing to also receive one. When a regulatory challenge failed, Mr. Bezos' company headed to federal court where the dispute over the contract continues. What do you think about this crew and especially the updates? Let me know in the comments below, and don't be left out because I will be going through all of them. Thanks a lot for watching. That will be it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and turn on the post notifications for more. Stay tuned and we'll see you on our next video.